things, and I understood why people didn't take me seriously, because I found myself in somebody else's lane. I was good at what I was doing and what I wanted to be, but I wasn't doing it for me. So how can I ask you to take me seriously if I'm living in somebody else's shoes?
And nobody can do what you do, and I think that that's a big problem that people face now. Like, you see what somebody else is doing and you want to do that when that's not your lane.
That's not your lane.
That's not what you're supposed to be doing.
But it's popular. It's getting that.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
All right, so again, thanks for tuning in with us today, everybody. Give me a sec here. I'm going to send out some invites to you all so you all can hang out with me a little bit. But meanwhile, Ms.Janice, the lovely Ms.Janice, what we got going on in current events?
I know y'all saw.
Monday, it's raining. Go ahead and depress it.
I'm going to do that. I know y'all saw the man in Rochester Hills that chased that 14-year-old off his porch with that shotgun. Yeah, the video came.
I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah, the 14-year-old kid had missed the school bus, so he decided to walk to school, but he got lost. So he went to knock on somebody's door for directions. So I think the lady, the man's wife, seen him first, and was like, "Why are you on my porch? Why are you trying to rob my house or something?" So her husband, her husband came running out the door with a shotgun and was shooting at him. So thank goodness he missed.
Yeah, so he got charged with like attempted murder.
Yeah.
They charged the white guy? Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Man, look. Get on that.
The video shows like the kid was running away and he like stepped out onto the porch and he shot, like he fired.
But he said he was trying to aim towards the air, but it was slippery out there, so he said he slipped. That's why.
Okay. Yeah, that's a likely story.
Yeah, that's why the gun went off.
I was just trying to scare him. Well, if he was already running away, what did he need to scare him for?
Right.
He said, if he can do it all over again, he would have just took the boy to school.
Oh, that's so drastic.
Oh my God.
He would, fire the shot.
Oh, yes.
That is funny.
He would have took to school.
If I could do it all over again, hell, I'd just took it to school.
So what about the one with the woman following the black man who was babysitting the two white kids?
I did see something on that one. Yeah.
Followed him, harassing him, till finally the police came, and then he got harassed some more, pretty much.
Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? See, it should be charges filed against these people for doing that.
At least harassment. I mean, even with the police, when the police got there, he wanted to speak to the kids, and even after he spoke to the kids, that wasn't enough. He wanted to speak.
I saw where he got the kids out the car, and of course, the justification that was coming from the other side was, well, because the call was made, he still has to follow procedure and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, come on, really? Once them kids explained to him who that man was. And then it turns out that brother actually is like the head of like the Boys and Girls, something dealing with charity with kids and helping kids out. And it just goes to show you, stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Go help some black kids out. You don't want to get pulled up by the police. Go help some black kids. I'm sorry.
And I did wanted to mention, remember last week when I said the police officer Loman that shot Tamir Rice had got another job, where he withdrew his application. I guess the protester was too much. So he ended up withdrawing his application. So I did want to mention that.
Well, good.
All right, so I have one more good thing for you.
Okay, yeah, let's hear something good.
No, that's not. It's not really good.
Oh, it's not good.
It's an article written by Clarissa Hamlin. City's policy to punish trick-or-treaters sparks debate about racism. This is Virginia City's decision. The city of Chesapeake passed an ordinance that allows for kids aged 12 and over who trick or treat to face fines and possible jail time.
I did see that.
Wow.
Yes. However, those who may be escorting younger children are likely to be exempt from the rule. But if
Likely to be exempt.
likely, which means
You still might catch a charge. Wow.
But if any person over the age of 12 engage in trick or treat, he or she shall be guilty of a misdemeanor. So that could be a fine not less than $25, no more than $100, or confinement in jail for not more than 6 months or both.
What?
Wow.
That's a tad bit extreme.
Yeah. Who is this targeted at?
Right. Well, I wonder who. Just off the top of the dome. I wonder who that's aimed at.
So if you're over 12, no trick or treating. I mean,
you better put that pillowcase back on that pillow. Better not go out with that bag.
who wants to sit in jail for 6 months?
Over some candy.
For candy?
That's just a setup.
Well, maybe it's
exactly. It's a setup.
Practicing these satanic holidays. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Maybe that's what's going on. Maybe it's a message in all this. Stop practicing these satanic holidays.
Whatever it is, I don't know.
Say that. My birthday is on Halloween, so I got a right to say that.
Wow.
I got it right.
How did that happen?
I know, right? You know, I kind of take it like the, you know, King Solomon type thing. You know, King David did some shiesty stuff that, you know, produced the birth of King Solomon. So he turned out to be the greatest. So far as I know, me being born on Halloween was for me to be the greatest. Hallelujah, holla back.
Hey, if that's your story, stick with it.
Sticking to it like glue.
Stick with it.
What else we got going on? Anything else?
That's all I have.
Woo, we made it through that one. Sometimes these current events are depressing. All right, so anyway, on to the show. So again, we sent out some invites. I want to thank everybody for tuning in with us. So today we're going to get back to some of the basics of what Black by the Man is all about. So for those who are not aware, you know, Black by the Man is a brand. It is also a radio show that you are currently tuned into, and we thank you for that. So Black is for the people, by is how we practice group economics. Demand is for change. So today, I thought we'd go over group economics again. Black by the Man show focused on group economics. We've had shows in between that tapped on it a little bit, so I thought I'd give a little refresher course. I was posed with an interesting question from a particular black person, and I'm paraphrasing, you know what I mean? I'm paraphrasing, but basically, they were saying they want to practice group economics more, but they're really not sure how to do it other than trying to buy something from someone black, which is a great way to do it. But even that in itself can present challenges because we don't always know exactly where black businesses are at. So for those out there tuned in with us today, the first thing I want to tell you about practicing group economics is you can go to blackbodyman.com and purchase a t-shirt, a sweatshirt, a wristband, and that's your first step of practicing group economics. So anyway, so today's show, I'm going to give 13 ways that you can practice group economics to give our audience an idea of what they can do to participate in group economics and help black businesses survive. It's beneficial for us as a people, as a community. So I thought it'd be great to give out some good ways that we can do that. Cool?
Cool.
Sounds good? Everybody with it? All right, so let me send out a few more invites here. And we'll get the show going on here.
And about the current events. I know a lot of times they sound depressing, or it could be frustrating listening to them, but it's just what's happening. It's what's going on. We need to know. So.
True.
It's our reality a lot of the time.
Yeah.
It is. And there's no better place to discuss these type of current events than the Black by the Man radio show, because we're going to bring you media that you probably won't find on the prime media outlets. You know, the more localized media outlets, or even the national media outlets.
Yeah, you know, a lot of times when things happen, we want to keep it under the rug, and you know, we just want to keep it in your face. It's real life.
It is definitely real life, and it's our duty to report the truth. You know, especially if it's a truth that is going to stimulate a different thought process within people. You know what I mean? Make people face the reality, because that is one of my things that I personally have issue with. You know, I don't think it's enough of us that want to face the reality of what we're dealing with. Sister Deborah from Black Education TV, now renamed Redirecting, she has a quote where she says, if you can't face the negative, how are you going to create a positive? You know what I mean? When you're scared to deal with the negative, the only way you can correct it is to address it. So we address it.
And that goes with what I was going to say next, because a lot of times there's still a lot of positives going on,
yes,
you know, within our community too.
Yes.
So I don't want folks to think, you know, we're not reporting it,
right,
you know, on purpose.
Oh yeah, no. We're reporting current events.
Yeah, and we focus, and we tend to focus more on positive. So the negatives, yes, need to be brought up, because right, things need to change. Yeah,
I think most of the negativity is through the current events, because what we bring for the show is something encouraging. Right. Now you may have to face the reality of negative statements in order to get the point across as to why the positive statements have to be made. But you know, like I said, I feel it's needed. I think as Black people, we tend to develop sensitivity in our ears when it comes to hearing the truth. Even though any other part of the day we may not be so sensitive with each other. That's the best way I can say it. You know what I mean? So we got to stop letting our ears become sensitive when it comes to, you know, dealing with the truth.
Yeah, and it's still all good. It's BBD.
It's definitely all good. You know what I mean? Like I always say, we didn't get into this under comfortable conditions. You will not get out of it under comfortable conditions. And I just mean in the essence of, you're going to have to hear some things that might make you feel a little uneasy, might make you feel a little uncomfortable, but it's for your benefit. You know, like your mama always said, this is going to hurt me more than it hurts you.
Oh, I hate that.
All right, so let's talk group economics. All right, so let's give a basic definition. So group economics can be defined as one group of people who have a common economic interest. That group agrees to actively and consciously pursue that economic interest together to create a sustainable and secure economy for themselves. So that's group economics in a nutshell. Group economics is not new. Many communities in America practice this strategy. The Jewish community, the Asian community, the Italian communities, they all practice group economics. It's a form of self-preservation. Group economics was used most successfully by Black communities in 1890 through 1920s. And of course, 1920s is where that kind of came to an end, because that's when they came in and destroyed Black Wall Street. And we basically have not created another Black Wall Street since. But they created Wall Street after they got rid of our Black Wall Street. But I digress, right? So group economics. So that's what we do at BBD. We promote group economics, right? So how do you ladies personally feel about group economics? I know we've all learned more and more as the show went on. You know, how do you think we're doing as Black by the Band practicing group economics?
I think we're doing good trying to get it back out there, but I still think there's always that negative stigma with Black people being for Black people. Yeah, it's always like, it's okay for the Asians, it's okay for the Italians, but for us, it's never okay.
I think one of the things that always bothered me with a lot of our understanding of group economics, because we didn't know it was actually group economics. So sometimes a particular Black person may not communicate that in a manner where they're saying group economics. They might just say, listen, you know, as Black people, we got to start looking out for Black people. We got to start spending money with Black people. Right. And so many Black people think that's racist. Like, that's the most disturbing thing on the planet to me, because literally every other ethnic group does this. Yeah. But you have a percentage of Black people, when you speak to them about it, they say, well, man, that sounds racist. And it's like, dude, what planet are you living on, man? You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing racist about that. That's the equivalent of saying, I love the Ravens, and because I don't like Pittsburgh, I'm racist. You get what I'm saying? It's just so dumb. You know what I mean? It's so dumb. So I want to try to remove that stigma, you know what I mean, through our shows, through our brand, to get people to understand it's okay to spend money with Black businesses. It's okay to wake up in the morning and think Black. You know, like white people wake up and think white. Asians wake up and think Asian. Mexicans wake up and think Mexican. Black people wake up and think white. It's a problem.
I didn't even realize the seriousness of it. Like when I had my beauty salon, like I didn't realize how much people didn't support. Because of course, when you have a hair salon or a barbershop or something, it's different. Right. Because, you know, a lot of your customers and clientele, they're already established. So, you know, you have people coming in. So you don't really see the difficulties that really is within practicing economics, group economics amongst us.
And having a salon happens to be one of the areas where group economics is actually practiced the most.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? But even within that area, barbershops and salons, we still deal with black people not wanting to give us money. You get what I mean?
But I'm saying, like, dealing in that industry, you don't realize how much we don't practice group economics because
you're kind of blinded by your trade. Because in your trade, you do black hair, right? So of course you don't have black customers.
Exactly. Right? So when you get into something different, that's when you really get to see the difficulties of it.
Other services and definitely products.
Yes.
Definitely products. Like, we don't even trust each other with products.
Right. So that's
where you get that soap from? Oh, I ain't using that.
My skin sensitive.
Right.
So that's been the biggest challenge right now thus far going forward as far as moving along with BBD.
Right. Yeah. Getting the support has not, you know, been easy. It's kind of been an uphill battle, but it's a battle we're up for.
It's a good battle.
It is, because the minority that we reach is worth it. You know it's only going to reach the minority of us until we continue to grow. But you have some microphone trouble?
No, it's good over here. What you talking about?
All right, that's what's up. But yeah, we'll continue to push on it though, and try to teach the importance of it, you know. And I think conversations that I've had with people, it's like they take it like I'm telling them to never spend any money with anyone else again. And it's like, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, take time out to try to practice group economics and give back to your race the way everybody else does, and the way we give to everyone else's race. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you take Europeans in particular, like, white people get a lot of their riches from us.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying, give us some of those riches. You get what I mean? It's not, you know, it's not rocket science here.
Yeah, but it's so much easier said than done.
It is really, because it's so new, and then, you know, psychological warfare, we're still mentally competing with each other. And I stress that often to black people. Other black people are not your competitors. You know, we're still competing with each other. So if we have that mentality, it's going to be impossible to support each other. Like, Nike is never going to support Reebok.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you have to fight so much harder to get somebody to believe what you're trying to put out there. Like, you can put it to them straight in your face. Like, this is what we stand for. This is what we believe in. Right. And she'll go to Nordstrom's and buy a $500 Louis belt and don't know what's going to happen with your money.
Don't know what's going to happen with your money. Other than the fact you do know nobody black's getting it.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that's guaranteed.
The only thing that you do know.
That's the only thing that you do need, right? Do know, rather. Yeah, so we're constantly pushing group economics. So the 13 ways that we're going to give today on practicing group economics is actually based out of Dr. Anderson's book, Powernomics. Now, I did a show on a little bit of this book, and I'm actually going to do another show where we highlight certain things in this book. So today we're going to highlight the group economics practices that are in this book. Now, this book is called Powernomics. It's by Dr. Claude Anderson. It's the national plan to empower Black America. So in order to empower Black America, we definitely have to have group economics in the mix. So let's give some examples today of how we can practice group economics and even participate in group economics. Because when I say practice, I don't always mean as just a consumer. You can also be the provider, right? Because that's still you practicing group economics. The fact that we have the Black by Demand brand, which can be worn by any race who supports black business, but it is a black brand. So the fact that it's been created is group economics in itself, because it's created for those who believe in supporting black businesses. All right, so with that being said, so the first one of the 13 is produce a product, which is what we just discussed, right? A product is any physical item that you can create or sell. Look around you. Everything you see is a product that someone else has created. You can do the same. So the first is a product. How many products are out here that we can like actively say this is a black product? You know what I mean? I bought this to support my people, so forth and so on. Like, just right off the top of my head, I don't really think of a whole lot.
And I don't think of a lot either. But let me tell you, I just found out that that was a black detergent.
Yes. Yes.
Black Made?
Yes.
Where?
So, We Buy Black. We Buy Black. And we're going to talk about We Buy Black. But it's on We Buy Black. Yep.
Right.
He came up to the booth when we was in D.C., the owner. He came up to the Black by the Man booth. Yeah, so definitely want to shout him out, you know, We Buy Black. But yeah, that's, and we're going to get into that example. So let's save that for when I go over that particular one. So yeah, but products, we can think of products.
That's because, you know why? It's not a lot of advertising going on with it. Of course, it's probably on like social media, or maybe, you know, if you Google it or something, maybe you can find it. But I'm talking about advertising like it is for everything else. Like it's not on billboards, you don't see it on commercials, you don't hear it on the radio through those commercials.
Yeah, you're never going to get it on mainstream media. Not going to get that on mainstream media.
But they still, it's still other avenues that they could be advertising, like through like sponsorship, right?
I'm sure they do. You know what I mean? Because this is based in Atlanta. So I'm sure in that area, even though it's national,
based there, so.
You know what I mean? I'm sure it's well known. It's just that, you know, further you go up north, it seems like it lessens the group economics. And I could be wrong, that's just my opinion. But it seems like the further you go down south, you got more black people practicing group economics. And as you come further up north, you have more black people practicing individualism. And individualism has been hurting us for a very, very long time.
So I guess when you start practicing group economics, I guess you find these things, because now you're looking. So of course you're going to come across a lot. So that's been the most interesting thing for me thus far.
And we're going to give some ways for people to actually do that looking.
Yes, so that's been fun.
Find some things.
I tried, because I made a decision a while ago to stop going to like the Asian nail shops. And I was like actively looking for a black nail tech. It was tough. It was hard. The further, like, I think the closest one was like 50 minutes from Hartford County.
See,
that's a little bit.
It's definitely people who have been on the front street and speaking about how sisters need to step up and open up these nail salons, so forth and so on. But I think part of the hindrance is that within this society, especially as black people, we're not being taught to be entrepreneurs. We're being taught to be employees. So a lot of sisters ain't thinking about being business owners. You know, they thinking about, I'm going to get me a master's degree, you know what I mean? I'm going, you know, so forth and so on. But of course, that path isn't for everyone. You know what I mean? So we do need more sisters who have that talent, because within the hair industry, it is a lot of talented young black ladies, as well as mature black ladies who have a skill set that's beyond comprehension, you know what I mean? But it's simply still at a level. So I don't know if we need to somehow find these people and get them in connections with people who can help them actually get that going. But that is a market that we should seek to take back over. And there are a couple of sisters I've seen on social media. I don't know their names, but they're doing that with the nail industry. And then there's a couple other ones that's doing it with the beauty spots, you know, taking it back from these Asians. Because the thing with the Asians is they not only took over our black beauty industry, but then they're very disrespectful to us. You know, they have no appreciation for what we do. We take them our money all year long, and they treat you as a second-class citizen, and they never once give anything back to the community. Like you sit you're out bragging about how your little Asian child has got a 4.3 GPA and goes to the private school, but you neglected to tell everybody that the reason you had the money to send that child there is because of all the black people who come and spend money in your shop that you have no respect for, right? And that you've never given nothing back to the community, but you set your shops up around the community. Now the flip side of that is I blame us for allowing that to happen, because there's other ethnic groups that do not allow that to happen. They say, no, you're not setting up shop here. And if you do set up shop here, you need to lay out to us right up front what you're going to be doing for our community.
That's what I was going to say. You can question those owners if they do anything for your community.
And they don't.
You're set up here. Do you do anything to give back to this community right here?
They let you in 2 at a time. That's how they give back. I'll let you in. I'll let you bring me your money. And thank you for that.
And Sam, I thought that was good that you mentioned like you would have to travel like an hour to go to that nail shop, because anytime I have to travel that far to get to a black business, I let them know. Like when I show up, I let them know, like, I had to travel all the way from Harford County to get here, just so they know, because you know, maybe it'll inspire them to do the same too when they looking for a business. Like, wow, like somebody come that far, you know, to visit my business. I can, you know, travel the distance to go visit somebody else's.
Well, I just need to put the disclaimer that I'm looking for a black male
in Harford County.
So let's read a comment here. Shout out to my man Greg Robinson. What's up, my brother? He says psychological warfare is our main issue, especially when you're trying to build something that could be huge for everyone in a smaller community. Absolutely, absolutely. And that's why we do the Black Body Man radio show, to constantly bang this into our heads and make it so that you don't forget about group economics. Because this is not about benefiting the person who has the business. This is about benefiting us as a community. Is that business owner going to start making money? Absolutely, and they should make money because we don't have that type of concern when we deal with any other business. No one goes into a business of another race and thinks, well, I'm not going to keep buying these sodas because they're making too much money. But it's a percentage of us that will do that with black businesses. Like, I'm a barber. I know other people in the barber industry who, when things got good for them, they went out and bought a nice car and lost customers. With the customer saying, I ain't helping him pay for that Lexus. Wow.
But why are we so petty? Like,
psychological warfare, we've been trained that way. You know, we've been trained, and of course that's a whole nother show. But this is not by accident that we view each other this way. This was done by design, going all the way back to the Willie Lynch letter. So I'm trying to break that, you know what I mean? Like, it was under brainwashing. I had someone just ask me yesterday, do I feel like that I'm brainwashing people? And I said, absolutely. Brother Mike is brainwashing you because I'm trying to wash your brain of that bullshit that they put in it for the past 400 years. So yes, I am brainwashing, and you should be glad that I'm doing it, because someone washed my brain. And I'm returning the favor. I'm washing others' brains. So yes, we brainwashing over here, absolutely. And I thought it was an honest question. And when I gave that answer, they was like, excellent. You know, but it's an honest question. So yeah, so off the top of your head, products. Can you think of any products, you know, that we might buy from time to time that's practicing group economics? Black Body Man t-shirts on blackbodyman.com. You can practice group economics by buying one of our shirts. I get the Nubian soap.
I was just about to say, but I didn't know like how to describe it, like, because we bought the ones from the expo
at the event in DC.
I really like that shade, but
bingo. See? And that needs to be known. We are at the Black Arts and History Expo in DC. We're set up, we're vendors, we have a booth, you know, but we were in there practicing group economics. We were going to the booths and buying people's products, right? Same when we was down at Paul's Expo. You know, I bought the beard oil and the natural soaps. You know, these are products. You know, these are products. So these are products that we're buying practicing group economics. I mentioned the Nubian Heritage black soap. I get it off Amazon, but you know, it's a black product, and you know, it's group economics. I love the soap. And it feels good to know that a percentage of my money went to help my people, went to help my community. Any other examples of products that we buy that support group economics? Because it'd be good for those out there, you know, to hear, you know, type of products that we're dealing with. Most of my group economics with us deals with services. You know what I mean, versus products, and that's why I wanted to see if you guys knew of it, like any other products.
Any major products.
That's why this is bad. Because we should be saying all kinds of things right now, because everything we buy should be from us. Pretty much. So this shouldn't be an issue.
It shouldn't be. I would like to see more of us in Black Body Man t-shirts, and I don't say that just because it's our brand. I say that because of what it represents.
I should be saying my shampoo, my conditioner, my lotion, my clothes, my shoes, my socks. I should be saying everything. And instead, like, we're sitting here trying to think of something.
I get incense from the local, you know, like bodegas. You know, I go in there and buy incense, and sometimes they got like the air freshener, aerosol cans. You know, just any little thing that I can to help practice, you know, group economics. When you got your hair done, right? See, that's more group economics.
And I mean, I practice it a lot. Like, I have shea butters and crystals and
Right.
I'm just saying, like, it would just take me a minute to think about it, but I'm sure I practice it a whole lot, especially now, and I really do.
That's wonderful. That's what we need.
But it's still not.
makes a difference.
It's still not enough. It should be more.
All right, so let's read a comment. Ms. Johnson says, I find that black people don't share information about black consumer products like it's a secret. I'm going to have to agree with that, because those of us who do practice group economics, maybe it's products that we're buying, we don't tend to like spread the word unless someone else comes across it.
Yeah.
You know, they smell that soap on you. It's like, oh, what is that? Like, oh, it's black soap. You know, I get it from such and such. So that's kind of why I wanted to go over maybe some products that we could just throw out there off the top of our head. You know, they're actually black products. What else black products I can think of off the top of my head?
Jewelry? Do you buy jewelry from a black company?
I do, yep. When we go to those events like we just did, and they do the little African art jewelry, you know, with the little string and they have beads on it. So that's another way of practicing group economics.
Yeah, what about little scarves?
Little scarves, yeah. Anything we can, finding black vendors. And like you said, it can be difficult.
Yeah.
It can be difficult. But we're gonna give a way to do that as well. So number 2 is produce a service. A service is any skill that you possess that the market needs and is willing to pay for. Plumbers, mechanics, HVAC, barbers, tattoo artists, cosmetologists, computer programmers, and painters all have skills the market is willing to pay lots of money for.
Right.
Okay, so here's where we probably pick up the pace.
Yes.
A little bit with group economics. So
Yes.
of course, we all use barbers and hairstylists. But even with, it was saying like plumbers and mechanics is on the low.
Yeah.
I will say that there are, at least from what I know, you know, black people will use a black mechanic. Now, true indeed, it's because they hoping for a discount. But
I was thinking that. I'm trying to get a hookup.
it's you know, it's MO behind it. You know, because you know the family, you be like, yeah, my car messed up. I'm gonna take it on over to the dealership. Don't take it over there. Call Mr. Charlie up. You know, Mr. Charlie been working down at that. You know, he turn that transmission out. All Mr. Charlie wants is a 6-pack and a pack of cigarettes.
All right, then.
Good to go. So yeah, services. Services. So how do we feel about barbershops and salons? I'll go first. As a barber, as a master barber, I feel professionalism needs to be stepped up. You know, like, I know we want customers. As a barber myself, I feel like a lot of my brethren is just laxed.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? Like, they just assume everybody's coming for these haircuts. But like, a lot of people could give a good haircut. I can give a good haircut, but I'm aware that I'm not the only one that can give a good haircut.
Right.
So I try to provide something else. You know what I mean? Great customer service. I treat them like they're the president of the United States. Have great conversations. You know what I mean? Provide a great atmosphere. How do you ladies feel about that in regards to salons?
I agree, but this goes with some of the teachings. Like, see, a lot of times we wasn't taught to be entrepreneurs. So a lot of times in businesses, you kind of make the rules as you go along, and that's where you kind of get.
That's a mistake?
Yes.
Yeah, because I think even if you haven't, you know, like been taught entrepreneurship, you didn't go to school and get, you know, a business management degree or whatever. If you're going to be a business owner, it's your duty to begin to train yourself. Whether you decide to read some books, watch some videos, hire someone who knows something about business to get the ball rolling. And I can speak on behalf of the barber industry, that just doesn't happen. It doesn't.
It don't happen.
Everybody's just chilling, like, you know, like these people have to come here and get a haircut. They don't. They don't. There's other options out here.
It don't happen a lot of time in the hair salons either. There's a lot of unprofessionalism going on.
Right.
It's like you're kind of surprised when you find a good salon that you're like, oh, okay,
Yes.
nice in here. You're like shocked that you have to sit and wait for 2 hours for your stylist to either come in or finish doing what she's doing. So.
And it seems like such a market of opportunity, you know, like being that it's such a common standard amongst salons and barbershops, where you kind of know what you're getting into when you go in there. So imagine the ones who step the plate up, you know, step up to the plate rather, and make it a little more, you know, up class, a little bit more, you know, like what I see on television. The women sitting there drinking mimosas. You understand what I mean?
Yeah, but that's television. Because I don't think people go.
Yeah, that's television.
Yeah, because I don't think people go the extra mile like that, because they know, like, since it's the hair industry, you know, they know black women not going to go a lot of places to get their hair done, but to a black salon. Right. So, like, that's where they tend to have an overflow. Right. They have an overflow there. So they're in a position where they feel like, well, if you don't like it, go somewhere else. They fine with that because it's such an overflow.
If that person has that particular skill set that you
right.
Gotcha.
So that right there, they don't go above and beyond.
But it seems like that's only going to last for so long.
It's been less than this long, and it do. It only goes for so long because eventually people do get tired and they will find another salon.
Yeah, especially when you're taking your hard-earned money. And black women don't play about their hair.
Don't.
Like, and they spend a lot of money in these salons.
And times are getting different now, and they're going to go somewhere better. They're going to get a better service because you're paying for a good service. You're going to get a good service. So it is time for people to start, you know, doing better.
Yeah, I think
customer service wise,
especially when we know the level of sensitivity that we have as black people when we deal with black businesses. You know, like our tolerance is low. So like you have to know that as a black business owner. So you know you're gonna have to kind of go the extra mile or you're about to lose a customer. And you know, in business you should not want to lose a customer. I know we deal with people who really don't care. You know, you should care. You know, you don't want to lose a customer because eventually the skill set is not going to hold you down. Like I've seen throughout my years, a lot of young ladies who had tight, awesome skills with doing hair. Customer service was in the garbage, right? So through, say, her 20s, she's making paper, right? Getting money, nobody's tripping on it. But then as she goes into her 30s, see, that starts filtering off because people start getting older, they start expecting more. And then here's a young lady that was 24, you know, making good money. 38, she talked about, I'm about to go back to school. Right? Have we experienced that before? You're like, wait a minute, I thought you was cosmetologist. You know, I'm not making the money I used to make. And I think part of that comes from because they never stepped up the business side of it. And people's tolerance, they'll find someone else who can do that style that you like or whatever.
And then it goes back to, even with black businesses, like a lot of them don't have enough money to hire all the people that they need to run that salon or business, you know, because you need different people in different positions so that you can provide a good service, but you just can't afford it. You can't afford to hire a lot, so a lot of work is left on you.
True.
And you can't do all of that, so that's a lot of times that's where you fall short too. Right.
Yeah, and that goes back to what I was saying previous. You have to seek some type of business information,
so education. You definitely have to do that.
For those out there listening, if you are a business owner, I recommend the E-Myth Revisited. It's a book by oh God, what is the guy's name? I forgot the author's name, but the book is called The E-Myth Revisited. And he gives a very basic breakdown, if you're going into business, of how you need to operate. You know what I mean? Without having, you know, a bachelor's or a master's, so forth and so on. Because when you look through the history of this country, most business owners don't have that. Yeah, most of them are just hustlers, right? And trial and error, they just got better and better at it. A lot of business owners don't have high school diploma. Many do not have college degrees, you know, but what they learned was customer service. And that will outshine all of it.
It will.
Nobody cares about your degrees if you don't treat people good, right? So like with barbershops in particular, when I would go and be in other barbershops, one of the things that would set me apart right from the beginning, had nothing to do with skills, is I would speak to people when they came in. Hey, how you doing today, brother? Welcome to the barbershop. That alone, imagine a customer walking to a barbershop and there's 6 barbers in there, and one barber speaks to him.
Right.
Who do you think he's going to? Right? Just, you know, simple little things, you know, and for me, it feels good to treat black people good.
Absolutely.
Like we have such a tolerance for treating each other bad that, you know, we treat each other good. I actually had my son say to me years back, he was like, Dad, I like how you speak to everybody. I said, yeah, you should do the same, son. He was like, it's nice. I said, exactly, it's nice. And you'd be surprised how it can make someone's day. Because we be in a position where, and I had an older gentleman tell me this before, right? I'll tell the story real quick, right? No, I always got a story. But I spoke to this older gentleman, this was in my 20s, right? I said hello to him. And he spoke back. And then he said, come here, young man, let me ask you something. So I walked over. He said, let me ask you, why'd you speak to me? I said, because I was taught to respect my elders. You know, you're a black man. I saw you. You saw me. I wanted to acknowledge you and say hello. He said, I like that. He said, that is good. He said, I want you to stay that way. He said, because we as a people, we don't speak to each other. He said, you can have black people inside of a building, and there can only be 6 black people in there and 1,700 of other races. And those 6 black people ain't even spoke to each other. Don't know nothing about each other. And it triggered, you know, me to stay on that path. You know what I mean? He was letting me know. He was like, just pay attention. He said, we walk down the street, we walk by each other like we mad at each other. He said that if you speak to him, he said you'd be surprised how much it can turn that upside down real quick. Because we've been taught that we're enemies of each other. Right. You know what I mean? So 2 black men walking towards each other on the sidewalk, the poison that's been put in us is already fueling up. He's looking at me, I'm looking at him. You understand what I mean? Before you know it, somebody say something slick. What you looking at? You understand what I mean? You know me. Yeah. And it's so not good for us. And I think y'all go through it too as women. You know, like, I'm not an expert, but you know, like, I know some women won't get spoken to by other women because she's just looking too fly today. I'm not speaking to her. She just walked in looking too cute. You know what I mean?
Catty for no reason.
Yeah, just catty for no reason. So I try to speak to people, and I try to take that lesson that he gave me back then. So my son noticed this, so that was good. And that was something I never even considered that he paid attention to. But he noticed that I speak to black people. I mean, I speak to people, period. But he specifically noticed that I speak to black people. And sometimes it throws black people off when you speak to them. Hey, how you doing, brother? What's up, man?
No, that's
it throws them off.
That's very true. I compliment people all the time. And a lot of times, the first time you do that, the first thing they say is, like, what you want? Like, I don't want anything.
Well, you know what my favorite
I'm just letting you know you look beautiful today.
My
That's
favorite
it.
is when I compliment the sisters on their natural hair. And they love it because, again, I didn't know this when I was young growing up. But at the age I'm at now, and I can look at the state of our women now, I'm so appreciative that I grew up in the era where I got to see black women looking beautiful in their natural state. You know what I mean? Their natural hair, their natural body, nothing was augmented, right? And that was just normal. But now, as we in this part of society now, when I see it, it stands out to me. You know what I mean? And I know that sister has been going through something, taking that leap.
That reassurance.
That's right. That's right. So I try to give her that reassurance, but I try to do it in a manner where she doesn't think I'm flirting with her or anything, right? So I will justify it by telling her that I'm a barber. So I say, you know, sister, I really like your hair. You know, she's like, thank you. And I'll be like, I'm just saying it because I'm a barber and I know these people's hair. And then she's like, oh, okay. You know, you understand me? Like, I'm not trying to holler at you. But I get black women being on defense like that. I get it because that could easily be my tactic to get through the door. But I honestly just be wanting to compliment them for walking around looking natural and feeling bold enough and the society that has taught us that that look is not beautiful. I'm telling you it is beautiful. I grew up my whole life seeing it. You get what I mean? So yes, I like to compliment that. And the same with the braids. You know what I mean? I love seeing black women in braids because that's one of our natural hairstyles. You get what I mean? So that's one of my favorites. I like to tell the sisters their hair looks nice. You know, even though I'm sure it looks nice with the weave and all that too, but I'm probably not going to say nothing about that. You like my hair?
It's alright.
It's alright. You bought some good stuff.
But not to change the subject, but to go back to what you were saying about customer service. The owner have to remember, like, as black people, we're already skeptical about coming in this store.
Yes.
So when we come through the door, we're already looking for a reason not to come back.
Right.
So
unfortunately,
with you standing there and acting like you have an attitude because I'm patronizing your store now at this point, I definitely won't be back.
Right.
So the least you can do is have a good attitude when somebody walks through your door, smile and speak. Yes. Say hello and go, you know, try and go out your way to greet people coming through your door.
Yes.
You can't have the I don't care attitude.
Because I think that low tolerance for each other, I think it plays on both parts.
That's true.
The consumer, comes in with a low tolerance, and I think the person that owns the business and working comes in with a low tolerance.
Yes, because
we just been taught not to deal with each other.
The person who owns the business, they already know, like, you don't want to be here, and you know, you don't want to be here. Fine, I don't want you here, but no, that's not the attitude. Like, we have to get rid of those attitudes.
But it's always going to be a hard fight because you always got to work so hard to win over somebody that should already be for you.
Right.
That's like an extra part of the battle.
True.
I know, but if you, while you doing your homework on this, you know, it's an uphill battle.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to, go out your way to charm every patron that comes through your door, whether you want to or not.
So Ross Copeland says black people have been taught to keep secrets and not share certain information, and that's a teaching that goes from a long time ago. An example of, you may have a black product or soap, and you may ask, what's that smell? It smells so good, and where'd you get it from? And they may not give you the proper response, like, you know, oh, my aunt bought this for me. Right. Instead of specifically saying, look, you need to go to Amazon, and type in Nubian Heritage, you know what I mean, and get this soap. So yeah, that's true. That is true. We don't share it, and that's why I thought it was so important today for us to just spit out a few little products. But I'm gonna give a great location where you guys can go find a whole bunch of options with black products, you know, a whole bunch of options. So let's move on to the next one here. So the next one would be to open an online store. Open an online store. Once you've created products to sell, you have found someone who is willing to wholesale the product to you, open an online store. By operating an online store, you will have access to the entire world of customers. You will need to package and ship products in a timely manner when orders roll in. But if the other people have done it and make a living at it, you can too.
Yes.
In order to open a store online, you will need to buy a domain for hosting. You may want to purchase a domain from spots like GoDaddy, and they can run anywhere between $1 and $13 per year. Buying your domain will ensure no one steals your ideal, and it is an important first step in getting started with your online store. Now, I think this is great because, again, I know I'm telling my age, but like, I grew up in a time when this didn't exist. You know, if you was a black business owner or wanted to be a black business owner, you had to get a storefront, or you was just going to be hustling out the trunk of your car, which is not a bad idea. A lot of people do that. I know I've done it. You can catch me anytime and get a BBD shirt out the trunk. I'm just saying. Goes down like that, right? But today, with these online stores,
I feel like everybody has an online store these days.
Bingo!
Everybody, from makeup, hair, you can literally buy anything.
Right. So we're like in the optimal moment for black people to start really looking into being entrepreneurs.
Which is great.
It's so much easier to do it now. Right. You know what I mean? Like, you could make bobby pins. Open an online store for bobby pins.
I think it's great. Everybody needs to take advantage of it. If you can take advantage of it, take advantage of it. I know right now it might seem like there's a lot, but you know, once you get that support, you know, once we start supporting, it's it's a great idea.
And it is hard to take advantage of it. You know what I mean? Like, you almost need a celebrity to put your shirt on or your bobby pins. You know, to get black people to say, hey, this is a great product, let me try it out. But it's still so much worth it, you know what I mean, for your entrepreneurship, for, you know, contributing back to the black economy, you know what I mean, and doing better for ourselves. So yeah, I think we're in a great time for everyone to become entrepreneurs. Like, we have children that are on YouTube making, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like, who saw that coming? Like, I didn't.
Yes, yes, we do. We have. It's crazy. It's wonderful to see, though.
Yeah, it's such great opportunities. Like, whatever you do, you can pretty much make an online store for it. You know what I mean?
And it doesn't even have to be like a product. You could just make videos and do tutorials.
You could be a blogger.
Yeah, you could.
They make money being bloggers.
Yeah. That's what everybody on YouTube is doing.
Right, and all they're doing is reporting information from other people and then giving their opinion on it. I'm sorry, is that a Black Bottom Man radio show? It might be.
People just have to get a made-up mind on supporting black businesses. People just have to get a made-up mind for that.
Right, and that's an effort that has to be made. And I want us to be more diligent with that effort, because even if you just buy 1 or 2 products or use 1 or 2 services a month, you're doing your part.
Yeah.
You're doing your part. You're doing your part.
I'm gonna need people to do more than that part. Then I'm gonna need them to do more than 1 or 2. I'm gonna need them.
I would like that as well.
I'm gonna need them to do at least 10.
We got great shirts on BBD. We got the men's unisex in black and white. We also have the ladies V-necks in now, which are pretty popular. We would love to see people get a Black by the Man t-shirt. And if you do, at blackbytheman.com, remember Black by the Man is spelled B-U-Y, not B-Y. Send us pics. Send us pics. We'll put you on Facebook and show you off, and we'll show the world that you are practicing group economics. Okay, so we're up on our first break. Stay with us. It's the Black by the Man radio show. We are giving you 13 ways to practice group economics. We'll be back.
Are we off?
And break.
Because I need to fix my radio. I mean, my microphone.
All right, Nate said we still got 30 more seconds. Nate, we went to break. We on break, Nate. We on break.
I'm gonna need some help. This boy.
It's time for flashback.
Now, I'm not gonna say all Aries don't know, but
it's just the one you had. That was
just
just
a particular one, you know. Yeah. But it's always something that you can.
Go ahead, Bliss. Can you recollect any signs that you might not get right?
October 15th or 16th. What is that?
And Libras.
See, I've had some good Libras and I had one really bad Libra, but he was white, so he his back anyway. So I don't.
Wait. Hold on. Wait a minute. Demonstrate. You got to demonstrate the back.
No. Ain't no way.
Not the good. How they bust? But show how they bust.
And they want to cry afterwards. I mean, what the is the point of the tears? I mean, I can see you shaking, yeah, and shake it off real quick. But you crying? F out of here.
What was he crying for?
Cause baby, this pussy make that. You in? I got that good nasty bitch. The shade.
McLean's Couch every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Only on BeExposedRadio.com.
Whoa. The moment my son saw a redwood tree.
It's huge!
Is the moment I knew that for him,
you can't even see the top of that thing.
Even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Be Exposed Radio.
It's a family affair if you want to look at it that way.
It is. I totally agree, and I believe I believe that this wisdom on the wall is going to be a movement, and that's what I believe we are doing. Is we're creating a movement where people essentially, even after we've presented in these workshops, then they'll be inspired to sort of document some of the things that they've gone through and empower somebody else. So it'll be like a chain effect. So they'll see that we were just 3 women who have gone through various things and experiences in our lives, and we just took the opportunity to sit down, put it in a book, and then it'll be a movement, and then other women will be inspired to do the same thing. Let me tell you, we are better together. We are so much better together, family. I'm telling you, when we band together, put our resources and our experiences together, we can create a movement. And that's what it's about, inspiring people to do more than what they may currently see of their own lives, that they can do so much more. So yeah,
you are exactly right.
Be Inspired Radio Show. Tune in every Wednesday from 7 to 9 p.m.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin Street? Girlin Street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
You are now listening to Just a Bit Outside, a sports radio show at BeExposedRadio.com. Come join us every Monday night from 8 to 10 p.m. on YouTube, Facebook, or BeExposedRadio.com.
So we had a lot of things going on.
Right on time. All right, welcome back to the Black by the Band radio show. So today we are talking 13 ways to practice group economics. We were just going over opening an online store. We have a comment from Miss Cheryl Taborn. Thank you for tuning in with us, Miss Taborn. Cheryl says, I love online stores. TashayFashionHub.com. We turn sassy into classy. So there's an example of a sister that has an online store that you guys can go check out today. It's called Tashae Fashion Hub. That's TASHAE FashionHub.com. We turn sassy into classy. See, if you comment, tune in with us, we will plug it for you. You know, we don't even get into all the craziness. We're trying to help everybody do better, you know, to help us as a community. So make sure you guys check that out. So yeah, online stores, I just think they're great. Yeah. I do. I mean, how could I not? Black by Demand is an online store. You know, so again, we encourage you to check out Black by Demand as well. But yeah, such opportunity. Like you can literally tell your child who does something, well, let's open an online store. Let's get you a store. You know, it's that simple. And when you're talking about something like Shopify is pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, Shopify is pretty cool. Like they don't rake you. You know what I mean? To have your store. You know, it's pretty friendly setup process, so forth and so on. Yep. So online stores is an easy way for you to practice group economics, as well as being the one allowing others to practice group economics.
Right.
You guys have any online stores that are owned by black people, you know, off the top of your head that you participate with?
Am I aware of any? BBD. Besides
BBD, there it is, BBD. It's not as many out there?
There's some out there. But am I aware? Somewhat. Okay. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna give everyone a great spot to go start checking. Yeah, because the ones that I really know of that's out there, it's like when we do events, and of course we get people's cards and business cards and things of that nature.
Right.
Those are the ones that I'm aware of.
Yep. Okay. All right. So the third way is to host community events. Host community potlucks, local group economics, community and yard sales, and other events that teach the rest of the community to put these tips into practice. Find a community center, boys and girls club, or school for an auditorium or gym and get to work. The more people that see the community coming together, the more they will be willing to participate. Schools are particularly receptive to farmers markets setting up on the school grounds on the weekend, So turn it into an event and an opportunity to make things happen.
Now, see, and I have a question about the events, because I know a lot of people do events like potlucks and things of that nature. Now, like when you're doing that, how can you get more advertising out about it though?
About
like,
the event?
Yeah, because a lot of times, you know, when you do events, it's like within your community, and then, you know, maybe word of mouth, things of that nature. But how, like, let's example, like people up in Harco are going to know about it if you're in, let's say, Southeast DC. Like, how you going to get the word to me?
I think the biggest route would probably be social media. I mean, and that's another great asset of social media. Like, it saved so many people money on advertising because you can literally put a post up and then boost the post, and you can choose the areas that you want to target when you boost the post.
Well, it's obvious that you need more than social media. I know social media is big on that advertising, but what about folks who don't have it? That, you know, practices group economics. Like, you still need to get the word to us. Like, what are you going to do?
That's a great question. Of course, there's old school mailings, flyers, word of mouth, newspaper. You know, the old school tactics, I believe, still work, but social media is probably the main culprit because that creates that buzz.
So would you say? So would you say like some black business owners may have to do a little more than what they're doing to get their business out there?
Like I just got an email today from Busy B, which was the one black woman who had on all the African attire. She's got an event coming up, you know, so because we networked with her and she got our information, we got her information, she's already sent out information about the upcoming event, and BBD plans on being there. Right. So, you know, networking helps as well, you know what I mean, using emails, which is a good one. There's an email list. You can buy email lists, you know what I mean, to send out large emails.
And I guess it all depends on how big you know, want your business, how successful you want your business to be. I guess it all depends on how much work you're going to put into it.
Right, and then also recognizing that limited amount of, you know, support that we do get. So if you're looking to have 100 black people there, you might want to invite 10,000. I'm just saying.
That ratio was way off, man.
I'm just saying, you know, you might want to invite 10,000 if you want 100 to show up.
200.
Right. Because that's what I was also going to say too. You know, since it is so limited, you know, you want to kind of advertise pretty much you want to get it out as much as you can because you don't have enough, or we don't get enough support. So you want to get it to pretty much everybody. Because a lot of people on social media, I know, like, you know, they say they use social media, but is social media a huge support site? Is that huge when it comes to support?
I think it's the majority now, just because everything is so mainstream. That's all it's
I think it is the majority. You can still go old school with billboards too. Like I still read the billboards in Harford County when I'm driving down Route 40.
So is it a lot of support that comes through social media? Do you get a lot of good feedback?
Even when I'm looking for like stuff that's going on, whether it's for, you know, my child or just stuff that's going on, it's easier to click on Facebook and click events than it is to, you know, happen to see it driving down the side of the highway or
you can literally click on events.
If that's like, if you're looking specifically for something to do, then it's right there.
I'm speaking still going like a step forward, like even when you set up your online business there, do you get a lot of support as far as from social media?
I think you do. I think you get more support with likes than actual purchases.
So everybody that would have been
somewhere.
So that would have been my next question. Everybody that hit the like button, do they support? Do they buy? Or they just hit the button?
I wouldn't say always.
They got a nice crossover, but they just don't make the layout. It's a nice crossover, but they don't always make the layout.
So how many likes?
Isn't that defeating?
10 likes if you get, how many purchases?
Right.
For 10 likes, I don't think you get any purchases. Yeah. I think you'd have to have at least 100 likes before someone actually made a purchase.
Okay, so
at least that's been my experience with Black by Demand.
Yeah. So
I just had a post. Sorry to cut you off. I just had a post that had 3,000 likes.
Yeah.
No one bought a shirt.
So that's my
3,000 likes. I'm just saying. that's what be going on. But I mean, I'm not complaining though, you know, because I'm happy to have the likes, because at least it's still planted in their mind and they've seen it. So maybe some will come back later and do it.
Yeah.
But right off the bat, it was 3,000 likes, but no one actually, you know.
But that would be a complaint of mine then, because if social media is such a big, you know, advertisement for me, and you know I have 3,000 people who hit the likes, then I'm expecting at least 1,000 of those people to buy my product.
Right.
So I mean, that's why I feel like it needs you're gonna have to do more advertising then.
But isn't that like assuming that your advertisements are gonna guarantee those sales?
Right.
An advertisement is just to put it out there. It's not going to guarantee that product getting sold.
Right. True, and that's why I need to advertise on every avenue possible then, because I need sales.
Right.
So,
but none of it guarantees sales.
Right.
Right, but I just have I have
more chances of getting that sale if you have more. What's the term?
Avenues than just that social.
Putting in the pot or more.
Well, I think what you're aiming for, you might have to do better targeting of your advertising.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like you may have to advertise regular, but then select certain targets of people who you know have a higher chance of actually purchasing your product. Because it is ways to narrow down your targeting on social media.
So, because I'm assuming like social media is a good way of networking.
It is.
Right. Okay.
It is. Yep.
All right.
So like when I do advertisements for Black by Demand, I'm looking for more of just exposure. You know what I mean? Because I know it's not going to guarantee yielding actual purchases. You know what I mean? But just getting it out there and getting that exposure. You know, because it's one of those things where if the right person puts that shirt on, it's on. It's on like popcorn. If the right person, you know what I mean, buys those earrings, right? It's on, right? So you just kind of keep on getting it in people's faces until that right person says, you know what, I like those earrings that she makes. I'm going to wear that tonight on the red carpet. And then, you know, boom, you know what I mean, it goes off from there. So yeah, I think it's probably more about awareness and then just hoping that you actually get some, you know, some actual sales out of it.
Well, that's, okay.
So let me read another comment. So this is Miss Taborn again. And again, she's at TashayFashionHub.com. She says, the problem with social media is that you can get 1,200 likes and no one buys. But we keep moving and try other things and add incentives to get them to come back. It doesn't guarantee a lot, but neither does paid advertising. True. That's kind of what we were saying. You know what I mean? Like, it would be great, you know what I mean? Because you kind of think that way. Like, oh, I'm putting it out there, you know what I mean? It's a great product, hope people respond. But that's not always the case. And then when you look at, say, like the big boys who do it, you know, Coca-Cola, like they literally spend billions on advertisement.
And they throw it in your face every day.
Every day.
Every second of every
day. Every day. Right. So when you buy that Coca-Cola, you think that you had a taste for Coca-Cola, and maybe you did. But I'm saying you think that's the only thing that provoked it. But Coca-Cola been bombarding your mind for the past 2 weeks on television, you know, on social media, billboards. Coca-Cola forced your hand.
Yeah. So even with the, you know, as far as social media with the advertising, you know, like I don't have anything bad against it. I'm just making sure that, you know, the business owners isn't just using that as its only avenue of advertising. I'm just making sure that they are out there using other avenues, such as flyers and, you know, word of mouth and, you know, anything that you possibly can just to get that business out there.
Well, you know, the thing with social media is not only is it the most popular, right, and it has the broadest reach, but it's also the cheapest.
Right.
You get what I mean? It's like it's cheaper than everything else. So that alone keeps it at the #1 spot. But like you said, it shouldn't be your only source.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like we give out free wristbands, you know, just randomly to people when we're out and about.
Right.
And that's a form of advertising for free. Everybody likes a little gift, you know. So I say, hey, you want a BBD wristband? They're like, yeah, can I get a couple of them? Sure.
Right.
Give them away for free. You know, so that helps as well. Okay, so let's move on to #4. So #4 is use black directories. So this is a good one. You know, this is a good one. It says there are seriously thousands of black directories in existence. These directories range from the local to the global and feature literally thousands of businesses. So why aren't we using them? Many of these directories have mobile device apps or mobile friendly and let you search using your zip code to find the closest black business to you. So that's a big one. That's a big one. Using black directories, because that starts to solve the issue of, well, where are these black businesses at?
Right.
You understand what I mean? So a black directory can help you find these black businesses. So I think that was really important. I've used one before. Have you guys ever used one?
When I was in search for my nail tech, yes.
Oh, see, there you go. There you get a bell. There you go. So yeah, black directories is a good one to use to help practice group economics and find products and services that are created by your people. You know, because we're not in a position, in my opinion, where we would ever be able to spend all of our money with black businesses. It's just not that many black services around. You get what I mean? So the little contributions that we make through products and services, you know, at least we're participating in, you know, practicing group economics and having a consciousness about it. You know, like you go back many, many years, black parents taught their children the importance of buying black, you know, because it helps to benefit your community. And I think, just like we were saying with the Coca-Cola, we just have to keep pushing it into people's face.
I'm still very much on the importance of buying black. Even when I don't know, I'm just still very much on the importance of it. I just think it's just your duty to go above and beyond to do it.
It's definitely your duty, especially with so much information out here today, when we are aware that we are a second-rate citizen in every aspect of the word. From financially to the way we're treated in society, everything is, you know, second class, second rate. So we can practice group economics to help change that, because it empowers us. You know what I mean? It empowers us. And we just got to develop some type of unity. And this is an easy way to do it. So using black directories is a good way for you to find black businesses, black products, black services, so forth and so on. But yeah, I love them. I love them.
That's how I found my detergent.
Right, exactly. Well, Black by Demand in the beginning, you know, the website did focus on having black businesses place ads so that other black people and other people from other races who want to spend money with black businesses could find them. But unfortunately, it was really a struggle getting black businesses to place ads on there. The ads were $20, but they didn't want to pay it. But I digress. So anyway, we're going to take another commercial break. Stay with us, Black by Demand Radio Show. We'll be back.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Join the club that gives you stuff.
Hey, thanks!
Radio Loyalty.
Here's how it works.
Just click on the Radio Loyalty banner right now and sign up. Then, you keep on listening like you already do. But now you earn points. Those points add up, and you can trade them in for stuff in the Radio Loyalty store. Earn more points by sharing your station with friends on Facebook and Twitter, answering surveys, and by using the apps in the New Players App Store. Pretty simple, right?
Radio Loyalty.
Click that banner to join now.
Hi, I'm LeVar Burton, and I'm proud to be a book person. How do I choose a book? Sometimes it's the cover, sometimes it's the title. I guess I'm pretty visual. If a book's really impressing me and the writing is really good, I will peek and see what the last paragraph is, because the endings of books should rock you. I am a book person, and if you're a book person too, read to a child and spark a lifetime of ambition. Join me at bookpeopleunite.org, because reading is fundamental. A public service announcement brought to you by Reading is Fundamental, Library of Congress, and the Ad Council.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin Street? Girlin Street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
So, Jacqueline.
Yes, Mom?
I wanted to talk to you about something and... Oh, wait. Hold on. I just got a text. Oh, there's another one. Wow. Busy me. So, anyway...
Oh, wait, Mom. I just got a message. My friends keep commenting on my comment. Oh, there's another one. So many comments on my comment.
Oh, I can't wait to watch TV tonight. Playoffs!
Hey, guys, check out my new video game. Pew, pew. Wait, Mom, what? Huh?
What? Hold
What'd you say? Wait a second, what?
This weekend, unplug. Take your family to the forest. There's nothing in the world like experiencing nature firsthand. Trees, paths, bluebirds, streams, getting closer to nature. can get you closer to your family. To find the forest nearest you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. With millions of YouTube views, shares, Instagram likes, followers, and fans across the globe. But what do all these amazing pets have in common? Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a shelter or adoptable pets near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard? Well, that's entirely up to you. Visit theshelterpetproject.org and hear more about Hamilton the Pug, Toast, and Keyboard Cat's amazing adoption stories. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Your perfect pet is just a click away at theshelterpetproject.org. A public service announcement brought to you by Maddie's Fund.
Black by Demand radio show.
2 years ago. If you broke that bike and it don't work, that's on you, brother. I suggest you get that toolkit out back and then start working with it, right? Yes. So my son's looking at me like, wow. And I broke down to him how we had got fixing flat tires down to a science. Mm-hmm. You understand what I mean? Sticking the tube in the water. Right? Talk to me, brother. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, you know, critical thinking. And seeing, we look at that now and like kids, they not as on hands like we were back in the day.
That's because nowadays you don't have to put the bikes together anymore. They can come assembled.
Yeah, everything's coming assembled.
In the store, they ask you like if you want it already assembled.
Right.
Back then you just got the box with 1 million pieces.
Right, and today I don't think they could work with that.
It's just like the thought process. Nowadays you get a bike that's already put together. Now when you were younger, you actually had to put this bike together.
You got to put it together.
That basically closes your mind into learning how to do something. Yeah.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Right, exactly. That's it. Now, had it been a Nike t-shirt, how many of the shirts would have been gone?
It would have been sold, right? All right, welcome back, everybody, to the Black Bottom Man Radio Show. Today, we're giving you 13 ways to practice group economics. So we just went over using black directories. So that's a great way. Look up some black directories, find black businesses near you and not near you. The directories kind of support it all. All right, so number 5 is create community gardens. That's always a great idea. Start planning and gathering everything you will need for planting in the springtime, during the fall and the winter months. If you're getting started in the spring, there are fall and winter crops you can grow and either eat or turn into a product for other members of the family. Community gardens also create opportunities to get the kids and the elderly in your community engaged. The mothers in nursing homes would appreciate being able to get back outside or the opportunity to create products with fresh ingredients. That's a great one. Yeah. That actually happened in my neighborhood before, where they started a community garden. It was going well for a while. They planted like collard greens and watermelon and a couple other things. Over time, it just got neglected because people weren't maintaining it. Yeah. And I think it was mainly because it was the older generation who started it. Yeah. But they couldn't always get out there with that energy and the weather, and the younger generations didn't.
They dropped the ball.
Yeah, they dropped the ball. It wasn't important. Yeah. You know, it's hard to make people understand the importance of a garden when they can go to the grocery store. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But it was great for the time that it happened, and it did bring some community awareness. Just for the fact that you got these black people out here digging in the dirt and planting stuff, people come out like, what's going on? Oh, we're out here building a garden. All right, well, take care. They go about their business. Should have said, it's gold under this dirt. We digging for gold. They done dug it all up. So, yeah, community gardens are nice. You got any experience with that, ladies? Seeing that happen or being a part of that?
I've seen it. Never been a part of it.
Okay. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. All right, so that's a good one, community gardens. Let's do number 6. Start making and selling your own clothes and accessories. BlackBodyBand.com, right? Start a small t-shirt business. Starting a small t-shirt business doesn't take a master's in business. What it does require is effort, passion, and faith. Qualities most of us have in one way, shape, or form. Use graphic designers like Fiverr for affordable and professionalism, and sites like Teespring and Shopify to launch your website. Very nice. Start a clothing design. Now, black people, we love staying fresh.
Yeah.
Like this is a no-brainer right here. You get what I mean? But it doesn't seem like it's a lot of us doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? BBD, we've done it. So far, we just got T-shirts and sweatshirts. But if you guys support us, we'll gladly bring you some new products. You know what I mean? And get some better stuff out there.
Right.
So we're basically doing exactly what they're talking about with the T-shirts.
Right.
You know what I mean? We sell Black by Demand T-shirts. You know, everyone who gets a T-shirt loves it. We just got to get more people active in doing it. So that's Black by Demand, Black BUY-Demand.com. Please go on and get you a T-shirt. They're only $20. It's not very expensive. This is a great way to practice group economics, to support us, so we can continue to deliver all this great information to everyone. You know, like this stuff's not free. I don't know if y'all know that. You know, so that's a great way. But it's interesting because I was just speaking to someone a couple weeks ago about businesses, and we was trying to think of, you know, businesses like for the kids. You know, I'm trying to get my son sparked into, you know, doing his own thing. So that came up, T-shirt business. That was one of the things I came up with. You know, like I always see advertisement for the presses. Just on social media, you know, advertisement to come up for a T-shirt press. And I'm thinking, people have no idea that one machine, you know what I mean? That 1 year that you take that tax money, and instead of getting that new car and them rims and going shopping, right? And that new TV or that little mini vacation, imagine if you took it and bought a T-shirt press machine. One machine, it can get the ball rolling. Y'all better hurry up before I do it. But yeah, so I think that's a great idea because as someone who has shirts printed, it's difficult finding black people who do it, at least in our area. You know what I mean? It's kind of an uphill battle. And then some of the ones that I've come across, it's not a go. You know, it's a go while you're talking. But then when it's time to make that happen, it's like, well, let me call my man up because he was saying, you know, it was raining. You know, just be anything to kind of stop it. So I think that would be a great business. Have you ladies ever considered T-shirt business? Anything along the lines?
But I will say this.
Planned by Sam T-shirts, hint, hint. I'm just saying.
I hear you. I personally haven't, you know, thought to venture into that realm of T-shirts, but I did see somebody say, well, how do I differentiate what I want to do from everything else and still be able to have that business? Like, I think she was trying to do makeup or hair. Everybody sells hair. Everybody does makeup.
Right.
So it's like you want to do all those things, but you're kind of like, I don't want to say discouraged, but you got to find something that sets you apart from everyone else that's doing it already.
Okay.
So
Right,
it
that
kind of
makes
makes it more difficult when you feel like them, especially with something that a market that's so saturated with everybody trying to do it. It's like, well, what makes me different?
I can give you a couple things to consider. Customer service and dependability. Be the black person that offers great customer service and is very dependable. Copy, Nate.
Ring the bell, because same thing I was thinking. Like,
30 seconds.
You can set yourself apart. Customer service can do it for you alone. Definitely.
Customer service and dependability.
Mhm.
But hold that thought. We're up on another commercial break. Stay with us, Black by the Man radio show. Yes, that can set you apart because that is a major complaint amongst people when we do practice group economics. You know? Yeah, customer service and dependability. Be mobile. Be there. You know what I mean? When they need you to be there.
Because
Nate, did we break, brother?
Because like you said, everybody can do that.
Hi, I'm LeVar Burton, and I'm proud to be a book person. How do I choose a book? Sometimes it's the cover, sometimes it's the title. I guess I'm pretty visual. If a book's really impressing me and the writing is really good, I will peek and see what the last paragraph is, because the endings of books should rock you. I am a book person, and if you're a book person too, read to a child and spark a lifetime of ambition. Join me at bookpeopleunite.org because reading is fundamental. A public service announcement brought to you by Reading is Fundamental, Library of Congress, and the Ad Council.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Here's what you missed on Salacious Life Radio.
You know, when it comes to your children, especially if you're dating someone that you actually like, you do want it to work. So you're gonna hope and encourage the relationship between your child and that person because you like that person, you know, so you're gonna hope for the best. I mean, sometimes it just doesn't work and you can't make it work. You can't force it. It's like a branch. You keep bending it. Eventually it'll snap, and even if you put it back together, it'll never be what it once was. But you definitely pray on it. You hope for the best, you know, because like nobody wants to spend the rest of their life alone just because a particular relationship didn't work out, but you had this beautiful creature as a result of it, you know. But you don't want to necessarily spend and you're not all of a sudden a bad person. You're not all of a sudden not going to fulfill this other person's needs.
You, madam, are a harlot and a scoundrel.
Because I had one kid while I was still married. Like,
but what if you? I take that back.
What if the situation turns around the other way? So you ready for your child to meet? They meet the person, and this person is a giver. So this person's buying your child lots of gifts and wanting to.
I would usually.
Do you let?
You don't like if it's a birthday or some sort of holiday or something like that. Okay, and they want to get them a few things or get them something. Okay, but just on like a regular basis, like unless it's like Nestle's Quick or something that you can get from like, you know what I'm saying, or like Kit Kats or something like that. Like, no, don't spend a lot of money on.
It's unrealistic. I'm sorry.
It's unrealistic. Like, don't try to buy his.
Tune in live to Salacious Life Radio every Wednesday from 9 to 11, only on BeExposedRadio.com.
There's a rumor going around that Tyler Perry and Oprah are beefing. Well, let me tell you about this. Tyler, okay, told Oprah, bitch, if you don't have my money, we're going to have a problem. Ooh. Oprah said, what?
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
All right. Welcome back, everybody, to the BBD show. So we was talking, start making and selling your own clothes and accessories, which is a great idea. So I put a little message up for everyone. Just remind everyone, you can go to blackbodyman.com and get a t-shirt. I'm just saying, you know, we all got to help each other, you know, and you'll look great in it. Take some pics. We'll put you out there, expose you and plug you, so forth and so on. Marsha Lucas, I see you, Marsha. Yeah, I see your girl got something going on. That's what's up. Tell her to go to blackbodyman.com, get her a t-shirt. You know, and we can go and get her plugged and, you know, good stuff like that. That's what's up. So we with the clothes and accessories. What about accessories? What about black accessories? Women like accessories.
Yes.
Men like accessories. Miss Cheryl Taborn, who was speaking earlier through the boards here, I've already supported her, and I ordered 2 watches off of Tache Fashion Hub. See, live by conviction. Yeah, I ordered 2 watches. So that's how we do it. You know, like I can't expect people to support BBD, and I don't support nobody. You know, like I do way more supporting than what I get. You know, but that's okay. You know, I'm fine with that. You know, my viewpoint on group economics is probably a little more intense than the most of us. So for me, it has a higher importance. So even though I may not be receiving that support, I'm still going to give it.
Right.
I'm going to give it. So that's pretty cool. All right, let's move on. Let's do number 7. I'm sorry. Source black produce products. Source black produced products. Produced products. I'm a little dyslexic today. I'm sorry, y'all. It's Monday. Find low price products from black vendors and sell them for market value. If you can find a vendor in Liberia selling wood carvings for $10 and the store around the corner is selling them for $50, you found an opportunity, right? Buy low and sell high. Use sites like Alibaba.com and Google searches to find suppliers.
I love that idea.
Yeah, so actually we just discussed this before the show, right? You know, buy low, sell high. You know, like that is capitalism at its finest, right? You know, you buy low, you sell high. I don't think these are things that we normally consider. But the reality is when you see that particular, you know, piece of art or statue in the store, that's what they did. They bought it from Liberia. Low. And they're selling it high. You know, so that's something that we can practice as well.
Yeah, I just think it's great. Just put the work in. I love it. I think it's great. Yeah, put the work in.
Put the work in and live by conviction. You know, while you putting that work in, make sure you're still supporting black businesses, so forth and so on. All right, let's do number 8. So number 8 is find and join a black bank. Now this is awesome because we did the Bank Black Challenge, right? Banking Black helps to support the community and strengthens us as a people. We are more competitive in this economy when we practice group economics like Banking Black. We suggest One United, the largest black-owned bank in the United States of America. And that happens to be
funny.
That
I was going to say funny. That's who BBD suggests as well.
So BBD's a part of, you know, One United. You know what I mean? I have a personal account and everything. So yeah, Bank Black. You know, like you don't have to close your other accounts if you don't want to.
Right.
But Bank Black, you know what I mean? And develop the understanding that European banks collect your money with no intention to lend it to you. You know what I mean? Like that's the reality of the banking system in America. European banks collect black people's money as well as other ethnic groups with no intention on lending it to us. They lend it out to their own people, right? So why not bank black and at least you know you're dealing with black people? If you bank black and you didn't get approved for the loan, you didn't get approved for the home loan, you just didn't get approved.
I agree.
At least you know it wasn't racism.
I agree.
Yeah, your credit score wasn't high enough. You know?
That should give you peace of mind right there.
Right. Your income wasn't high enough. But how about this? I'll do you one better. How about when you bank black and you do those particular circumstances, you're actually dealing with people who are working to get you a yes.
Right.
And not people who are working to get you a no.
Absolutely.
I'm telling you straight up and down that when you go to a white bank, they are working hard to get you a no. I don't want to hear about these black people that grew up with silver spoons in their mouth. You know, my grandfather got a loan for $10,000. Your grandfather was lucky. Okay, cut the BS. You understand what I mean? And face reality.
Please.
Right. You know, they are looking to get you a no. Whereas when they deal with each other, they're looking to get them a yes. So it would definitely benefit us to deal with people who are actually working to get you a yes, because they relate to each other in situations, and so will we. So imagine, right? Work with me on this, right? So imagine a young black woman. She's single. She works, right? Credit score ain't as high, but she holding it down. She doing her thing, and then she's going before another black woman to get this loan for this house, right? And this black woman can relate to it because her daughter, her own experiences, so forth and so on, and she's thinking to herself, well, you know what? Your credit score is not quite where we need it to be, but you have the income for this loan. Let me make some phone calls. Sister, I'm going to make this happen for you.
She's going to, maybe if she can't make it happen, she's going to put forth the effort to at least help
She's going to try to get you a yes. She's going to try to get you a yes, whereas everybody else is going to say, okay, check here, check. Oh, no, see, this right here.
And that's exactly what they said.
Unfortunately, you know, we're not going to be able to give you this loan. You know what I mean? So, like, we need to experience that because we have not experienced that as a people.
Yeah.
We experience going into things like, oh, God, I hope this goes through. Let's see, I got my credit right. Okay, yeah, they said they wanted them. I got the bank statements. You know what I mean? Like, that's how we are going into stuff. You know what I mean? Because we already know we're dealing with some people that are just waiting to tell you no. They're just waiting to tell you no.
Well, you already know the answer is going to be no.
Yes.
You already know it's going to be no, but in your mind, you hope you have enough or you might just possibly get
and when you get that yes, it's not a good yes. Good news, your loan's approved. Now the interest rate is 42%. Like, what? You know, come on. You know,
I'm serious.
That's even more reason.
I once did that whole experiment with my youngest daughter. Like, I took her with me to go get a new car. I took her with me on purpose. Just so she can sit and just watch how this whole process goes. Because I told her before we got there, like, okay, they're not going to be able to use income. They're not going to be able to use credit score or whatever. They're not going to be able to use anything. But watch, they still find something. And sure enough, we get there. And still, at the end of the day, they still pulling up a car that they want to give me versus a car that I want.
Sure. Yeah.
So
this is what we can do for you.
And she's looking at me like, this is crazy. And I'm like, this is how it goes. But I was like, I'm going to show you how you handle this. Yeah. Just pull my car back around. We'll leave with nothing.
There you go. We're out of here.
Don't let nobody nobody sell your car you don't want.
But then did they magically come back and go, oh, but we can work with you.
Yeah.
We can figure something out.
The phone call comes like 24 hours later.
Right.
With the car that you went in there for.
Well, if you pull up to the right dealership, right, say a more high-end dealership, so Lexus, BMW, Mercedes, oh, you be in the parking lot, man, they don't even come out there. You know what I'm saying? You just in the parking lot walking around. They looking like, he ain't going out there. You know, but you go to the Kia dealer, they right out there. How you doing today? We got some great cars we like to show you. You get what I'm saying?
It's just terrible. So I personally highly recommend Bank Black. Please, just do it. Just do it.
It's in our benefit. It benefits us as a community. So banking black is a good way to practice group economics all day. I'm very pleased with One United Bank. I get excited when I pull that card out and they got that picture on that system on there like this. Love it. Can't wait. You want to pay cash or credit? Credit. Here's my card. They look. They ain't feeling that. Yeah. And I'm just so happy that One United was brave enough to put pictures like that on there. Because, like we in a society that teaches us to be scared of that. Like the whole point of having black people work for white people is to keep you in line. You know what I mean? You're going to be scared to do certain things because of your job.
You also have to remember you're in a society where people are designed to tell you no.
Yes. So
even if your score is right, your money is right, they're still going to tell you no.
Sure.
And tell you those things are wrong. So I highly recommend you bank black. Right. So at least, like you said, when you go there, you're getting the service that you're going there for. So at least you can get the truth and walk out knowing that you was approved or you wasn't, and it have nothing to do.
And you can be eligible for things that you're not eligible for with white banks. White banks go a lot harder at making sure you don't get a business loan. You might even get the car loan. You might even get the home loan. But all those things are liabilities that's going to keep you in debt to them. So even when they do it, it's still in their benefit. Interest rates higher. Go in there and try to get a business loan. Oh, they're not giving you that. You understand me? Because they know what that does. That's putting you in a position to create generational income. And that's not happening. So it's great to deal with a black bank who would be much willing to help you with that as long as you got your ducks in a row. Right. Because they still got, procedures they got to go through. But, we're already used to crossing every T and dotting every I to go to a European bank. So imagine if you did that with a black bank. They looking like, sister, you good.
Yeah.
Check everything, you good.
Yeah, good.
You tell me how much you need.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And we cut the check.
Yeah, we cut the check today. So we're used to crossing T's and dotting I's and still getting turned down.
Right.
So bank black, that's a good way to practice group economics. All right, let's move on. Build a barter system within your community. Money isn't always necessary to make an economy work. In fact, the definition of an economy is the wealth and resources of a county or region, especially in terms of production and consumption of goods and services. If you have a product or service to trade for other things you need, don't be afraid to negotiate. Nice. Start a barter system. Black people already do this. Do you know what I'm about to say?
No.
Got them stamps. Got them stamps. You understand me? 5,400. That's a barter system, May not be legal. You know what I'm saying? But it's a barter system, right? So we already do that. Got them stamps. Everybody know what that means? I'm telling you right now, somebody get the howl and go on Facebook and be like, I got them stamps, 5,400. I bet you'll get some responses. Everybody need that refrigerator filled up, but that's a barter system.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're trading off things. So that was more popular back in the day. Whereas today it's not so much more popular. But there are people still practicing it. The Discovery Channel, it's either the Discovery Channel or the Learning Channel. They have a show on there where that's all the guy does. And he shows you how he starts with something small, like a bell. And he's like, I'm gonna take this bell, and by the end of this show, I'm gonna get this dirt bike over here. And I'm like, I gotta see this shit. I gotta see this, right? And that's what he straight does. He'll go trade the bell for something else. He's got an assistant. She goes online to Craigslist. Craigslist has a barter section. I didn't even know that until I watched that show. That's how far bartering is off of our minds. But Craigslist has a barter section. Yeah, did you know that?
No.
Did you know that? See, that's what I'm saying. There's people on Craigslist that just want to trade things. So he goes on Craigslist and then he finds someone who wants this bell. Right? He trade me that bell for that pair of clippers right there. And then he'll take the clippers and go
so he works up to
it. And at the end of the show, he gets the dirt bike. Now, true indeed, it's television. So, you know, but it's great lessons to be learned in that. You know what I mean? Like he's bartering. And we don't tend to do that no more. But like I said, we do it on certain levels. Yeah. And them stamps is an example, you know. And that's just an example I can think of that I know so many of us can relate to. But, you know, first of the month roll around, there's some bartering going on in the hood. And there's some bartering going on. And if you get the right sister that got all them kids, you can get you a real good deal. Really? I give you $300 for $150. Let me get that. Let me get that. You know, so bartered. Have you ever bartered for anything?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. So that's something to think about, right? Yeah. Barter. You ever bartered for anything?
Yeah.
Okay. Any examples?
No.
I've definitely done it. I got them stamps. I already gave y'all my example. You know what I'm saying? I got that Independence card. Let's go to the supermarket. I'm talking about where they got to go with you. She's like, oh, you ready? Yeah, let's roll. Hop in. We're going shopping right now. That's a barter system though, right? So yeah, barter within your community. If you ever research like the beginning of like capitalism.
Wait a minute, I don't want to cut you off, but yeah, I just did that too not too long ago, and I got a Coach bag from it.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. I do it with haircuts. You know what I mean? Sometimes people money ain't right. I'll barter with you. Let's do some haircuts. What you want to do? We'll work something out. You know what I mean? I'll cut your hair, you know, 3-4 free haircuts, you, whatever. You know, whatever they can offer. You know what I mean? Kind of do it like that. But yeah, it's a barter system. And that kind of was the beginning of capitalism. You know, it started with, you know, a barter system. You get what I mean? So people were trading off the things that they could do. So the carpenter was willing to trade the metalsmith. You know what I mean? Hey, I'll give you this table that I made. You know what I mean? You give me 4 horseshoes or 8 horseshoes for my horses. Like, all right, you know, it's a barter system, right? So like that actually still happens. But yeah, go on Craigslist and check out the bartering. Yeah, there's people out there trying to trade stuff.
I didn't know.
And you know, it's more popular than what I thought, because sometimes when I go on Craigslist just looking for an item, the person I have in the description, no bartering. Right? So they're letting you know, like, that's how much is happening, where people have to say, I'm not doing no barters on this. I want strictly cash or whatever. So yeah, so that's great. That's great. I have done that. Like I said, haircuts, I bought stamps before. You know, I bartered. You know what I mean? Give somebody a ride somewhere in exchange for something. Take you to work for the next couple of weeks. You know, cut my hair for free. Right? Barter system. Okay, so that's a good one.
You'd be surprised what a BBD t-shirt can get you.
That's right. We'll barter with you. And that's a good example, because I've done that at the events. I've traded t-shirts with people. You understand what I mean? Like I have it wasn't a t-shirt, but Mr. Royal Hype, when he had the Black Lives Matter booth. I got the CD with the song on it, with the dance routine. And then he gave me a keychain, Black Lives Matter keychain. And then it was like a sticker, and then like a bookmarker for Black Lives Matter. And I gave him a t-shirt. Yeah, see, we bartered. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's nice, you know, so we can still do that. So it's good to, you know, remind people of that. Ms. Johnson says, my tax services for hair services. Hey, there you go. So I'm assuming you do taxes, right? So she's saying she trades off taxes for hair service. Look, you're cosmetologist. Yeah. You know, I'll do your taxes, you know, fix my hair. Nice. That's what's up. So that's something to keep in mind.
So Lonzo Ball, if you watching, got a BBD t-shirt.
Got that BBD t-shirt. Let's barter a little bit, right?
Let me get them shoes.
Let's do number 11. Number 11 is changing your buying habit. It can be inconvenient to track down. Oh, 30 seconds ago. Let me read this real quick. It can be inconvenient to track down black businesses that provide the goods and services that you're looking for. Practicing group economics means changing some of your buying habits to benefit your community. For instance, rather than using Google to find a business that has what you want nearby, use a black business directory. That's a good tip. Rather than shopping in physical stores, use the internet to find black sites and shop for items before you need them. This reduces the need to run out and buy toilet paper at the last minute. You may have to drive a little further or spend a little more money, but the return on the community investment can outweigh the inconvenience. Very nice. Stay with us. We're going to take a break. Black by the Man radio show. That was nice.
Whoa. The moment my son saw a redwood tree.
It's huge!
Is the moment I knew that for him,
you can't even see the top of that thing.
even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Thank you for tuning in to BeExposedRadio.com. Sit back, relax, and listen to this flashback of the Artist Exchange Radio Show.
What does hustle hard mean to you? What does that signify in your life?
That's a lifestyle for me. You know what I mean? Like, true story. I was born into a family in a community of hustlers. Now let's get focused right quick, because when people hear the word hustler, they confuse it with con artists or something negative. So they like to call people entrepreneurs, right? But the definition, and I'm paraphrasing, but the definition of hustle is forced movement or to be hurried, right? But we're not talking about just pushing other people. Sometimes you got to push yourself, and that what makes you a hustler. True story. So the thing about it is, like, when it comes to hustling, listen, quick story. I used to go buy juleps a lot, right? And my grandmother used to make me clean the yard, shovel snow, do things like that to go get a julep. But one day she was like, look, you putting all your money in someone else's pocket. Word. Save those quarters, and I can teach you how to make a formula, and you can sell your own juleps. You understand? So the next couple weeks, I saved my money.
Always a hustler.
Listen,
got to love
but think
everybody
about
got
this.
a grandma story like that.
Grandmothers are the natural hustlers because they were the ones who maintained and sustained our families through epidemics. You're talking Big Mama went through slavery and held it. You're talking Big Mama went through the Depression and held it. Big Mama went through crack and held it and still maintains it today. So if you don't think you come from a hustler, then you don't know where you come from. You understand?
That's so real.
I began to sell juleps, and ever since then, I capture a hustle. And a hustle is not a swindle. It's not a sneaky thing. It's up front. You're providing a need. You understand? So you're the bridge. If you're a true hustler, you're trying to be the bridge. If somebody's on one side and they need to get the other, you're trying to be the bridge, fill in the gap. So hustling is a lifestyle. It's not something you can do 10 minutes out the day. It has to be something you live.
Word.
Hey, what's up? This is Nate, host of the Artist Exchange Radio Show. Tune in every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. and every Saturday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live, here live on BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Be Exposed Radio.
It's a family affair if you want to look at it that way.
It is. I totally agree, and I believe I believe that this wisdom on the wall is going to be a movement, and that's what I believe we are doing. Is we're creating a movement where people essentially, even after we've presented in these workshops, then they'll be inspired to sort of document some of the things that they've gone through and empower somebody else. So it'll be like a chain effect. So they'll see that, we were just three women who have gone through various things.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
All right, so we're back. We're going over number 11, change your buying habits. I'll read it again. It can be inconvenient to track down black businesses that provide the goods and services that you're looking for. Practicing group economics means changing some of your buying habits to benefit your community. I want to stop right there. That is very important. That's the sacrifice.
Yeah.
You have to change some of your buying habits for the sake of your people, for the sake of your community. So like I like when he says, find these sites through the black directories, right? And order stuff in advance, right? So find that black site. And the one I wanted to mention to everybody was We Buy Black. If you go on WeBuyBlack.com, and they don't pay me for this, right? They list a bunch of stores on there. Well, it's not even a list. It's actual stores on there. They only have stores on there of people who sell black products. So what this is saying is go to a place like We Buy Black and buy your toilet paper in advance. That way when you run out, you don't get hit with the convenience of saying, I'm just going to run to the convenience store real quick. You know what I mean? So it's just a little bit more effort being put forward, but it's such a benefit in that effort. And I'm going to try to practice being better at that myself. You know what I mean? Because like I do practice group economics, I buy black products, I use black services, but I still want to improve that.
That was like the only reason why when I was looking for that black nail tech and she was this is the way. It was that I needed it right then, and that's why I didn't have
convenience.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I didn't take that trek to go do it, because I didn't have the time to do it.
And that's done by design. This is why black neighborhoods are surrounded by businesses from other races. It's that convenience. So when you need that toothpaste, you ain't thinking I want to buy from a black person. You're thinking I'm going right up here to Alibaba, you know what I mean? And you know, Akbar, Sadiq, and buy it from them, and it's ridiculous. I like how he says you may have to drive a little further or spend a little bit more, but the return on the community investment can outweigh the inconvenience. And again, all these are based out of the Powernomics book written by Dr. Claude Anderson. This is the national plan to empower Black America. So yeah, that's great. You know what I mean? Make some sacrifices. Like, we act like we can't make no sacrifices for our own people. Right. And we shouldn't be that way. But let me move on because we've run out of time. So, number 12, hire black. Oh boy. Oh boy, hire black, right? That scares black people to death. Somebody got scared just now.
That is terrifying.
Hire black, right? So in her book, The New Jim Crow Law, Michelle Alexander teaches us that one of the aims of the new era of mass incarceration is to prevent blacks from entering into the job market. By hiring your own people, you can give an opportunity to a member of the community that may not have had that chance to provide their talent to the job market. While it's not easy to train and retain employees, if you're willing to put forth the effort, it will pay off in an expanding business and overall improvement in the condition of our people. Gotta ring the bell with that.
And I'll say, yes, definitely, because I know a lot of people is terrified of hiring black.
Right.
But if you do your homework on hiring black, like you do your homework on, opening your business, you'll be fine with hiring black.
Yes. And we do understand that, black people have not been trained to work for black people. I can tell you as a business owner, we don't always do well when our bosses look like us. But you're just going to have to, deal with that, because at least you're contributing. There are black people out there who are not going to be like that.
Right.
You might just have to go through a couple of them before you find the right black people to fit. But that's no different than a European when they hire black people. They got to find the right black person to stay with them. It's never been me. I know I'm not the right one, but you get what I'm saying? So we got to do the same thing. Okay, number 13. Learn the fundamentals of economics, entrepreneurship, and finance. This should go without saying, but if you don't understand economics, you are less able to come up and make economics work for you. You do not need to go back to college to understand how economic systems work. You can create your own curriculum by learning from those who understand the subject and have achieved great things. So get into learning about fundamentals of economics, which is something we don't do. So as a parent, if we do it, then we can teach it to our children. So this was great. So that was 13. That was 13 examples of how we can practice group economics. It's not as hard as we think it is. Sometimes it may require a little sacrifice. But everybody definitely check out WeBuyBlack.com if you want to find some stores that sell black products. And we thank you for tuning in with us. It's been a great show. On behalf of myself, Brother Mike, the host, and the lovely Ms.Janice and Miss Samantha Glenn by Sam. Thanks for tuning in. I'll catch y'all on the flip side. It's the black side. Peace.
Is what it is radio show.
Go ahead. All right, listen. All right, say situation. Cause I keep telling y'all, it's different situations in the child support thing. You can't just pinpoint one thing. You can't just say, "Oh, here did be. That's why you're on child support. Oh, he this. That's why you're on child support. Oh, she this. That's why she on child support." No, sometimes it could just go off of